You know, at the beginning of this war, the government prohibited the media from showing the faces of dead American soldiers. In fact, you couldn't even show bodies covered up with blankets. Okay. This changed a couple of months before Tarawa, when a guy named Elmer Davis, who's head of the Office of War Information, went to Roosevelt and pressed Roosevelt on this to lift the ban and publish the photographs of dead Americans. And Life magazine leads the way, and they publish a photograph by George Strock of 3 dead American soldiers lying on a desolate beach in a place called Buna, part of MacArthur's campaign. This was the situation when a guy came home from Tarawa, not Sherrod, a guy named Norman Hatch, who's a Marine Corps movie cameraman. And he returns with 3,700 feet of film of the battle. And film that was only uncovered, actually the film won an Academy Award, that year, but then was kind of went into mothballs and was only uncovered about 9 years ago at the National Archives. It's a story, this story of Hatch, that Alan Millett's going to tell tomorrow, when he shows this remarkable film that Hatch and Marines, other Marine photographers made of the battle. It's called With the Marines at Tarawa. And the Marine Corps imposed absolutely no censorship on these photographers. They go anywhere in the battle they wanted. Hatch, for example, was right there on that beach that night. And the question is, what are they going to do with the film? It's absolutely harrowing. In one scene that really grabbed me, you see the water splashing up against the seawall, and floating near the top of the tide are the bloated and marble white bodies of dead Marines. Some of the guys have been in the water so long, their hair's falling out. And a guy I interviewed from Tarawa said, I always expected them to lift their heads, but they never did. They never did. The movie was shown because Sherrod went to see Roosevelt and prevailed upon him to lift the censorship on the film. Roosevelt said, I saw it, it's tough, but we're going to show it. And Sherrod said, we have to show it. We have to bring home this message. Not that we're going to lose this war, but we have to steel ourselves for tough times to come. And this is from an interview with Bob Sherrod. He writes, the movie was shown, not the rawest parts, but enough to indicate that this is going to be a hard war to the finish in the next 2 years and maybe more. After it was released, he said, I saw the chief of public relations at a Marine Corps headquarters, and he said, what were the consequences of releasing that film? Our enlistment fell off 35%. Yeah. Bond sales increased, though.